transfer tap.
That's all for this edition of Dateline, and check out our Talking Dateline podcast. Keith Morrison and Josh Mankiewicz will go behind the scenes of tonight's episode, available Wednesday in the Dateline feed wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you again Sunday at 9, 8 Central. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night.
Live on NBC 12, this is News Watch 12 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukic. Several Wisconsin Republican officials are having charges recommended against them over an alleged scheme to avoid campaign finance law. The Wisconsin Ethics Commission is alleging that Donald Trump's Save America Political Action Committee, State Representative Janelle Brandtjen, and the campaign of Adam Steen and several county Republican Party officials worked to circumvent fundraising limits. Adam Steen ran to unseat Assembly Speaker Robin Vos in 2022. The scheme involved the parties working to funnel donations to county parties instead of Steen's campaign, where they would be able to give Steen unlimited donations under state law. Individuals are only allowed to donate $1,000 to a candidate's political campaign. Two of the county Republican parties listed in the recommendations are Langlade and Forest County Republicans. Meanwhile, Newswatch 12 has received confirmation of the two of the people being charged in Langlade County. Anago Mayor and Langlade County Republican Chair Terry Brand and Vice Chair Leonard Boltz are being referred to the Langlade County District Attorney on charges of money laundering. In a filing from the State Ethics Commission, the agency found probable cause to refer charges to the district attorney. The filing alleges that both Brand and Boltz were complicit in allowing contributors of Adam Steen's campaign to send checks to the county party with 63 in the memo line to show that the money was meant to be donated to Steen. According to Republican Party of Langlade County's records, it contributed to Friends of Adam Steen more than $40,000. Of those donations to the Republican Party of Langlade County's Executive Committee only approved $8,000. Connor, it's freezing out there tonight. How long is it going to last?
It's so cold. I was at the YMCA earlier, and it was freezing outdoors. Yes. I was like running to my car and away, but yes, Jessica, not going to last here long at all. We're talking 40s back by Sunday. Looking right now, temperatures are at around 30 degrees colder than what they were just 24 hours ago, so definitely feels like winter today. That's not going to be here for long at all. We're talking 40s back by Sunday, and then 50s Monday into the day on Tuesday. This cold front right here across the country. So far, it is down into central Illinois, Chicago. Back in the 20s, they're actually getting a little bit of snow right now. My dad sent me a picture earlier overnight, just how much snow they got. They're at around an inch of snow on the ground, mainly on grassy surfaces. A little bit of that snow is on the roads and sidewalks, but with temperatures in the 40s earlier today, it just took a while to start to accumulate. Most of the snow is downstate now. We're talking pretty much right outside of Wisconsin and into northern Illinois, and it will continue to go down south and really clear out of our region. Visibility wise though, are finally looking good. No fog in the area, and definitely just a few passing clouds here and there, especially into central Wisconsin. Overnight tonight though, it is going to get cold. Temperatures will be below zero, with the feels like temperature around 10 below zero. Jessica?
A New York judge finalized a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump in his civil fraud trial Friday. The signed judgment comes 1 week after Trump and his two adult sons were found liable for fraud, conspiracy, and issuing false financial statements. Now that it's been finalized, Trump has 30 days to file an appeal, which he has vowed to do. He will now need to put up cash or post bond to cover the $355 million and roughly $100 million in interest he was ordered to pay. Trump initially asked to delay the judgment for 30 days, but the judge rejected that request. Assembly leaders have admitted that Michael Gableman violated public record laws while conducting his probe into the 2020 election. The admission comes as part of an agreement to settle a lawsuit against the Assembly's Office of Special Counsel. It was filed after Gableman testified after regularly deleting records during a hearing for a separate lawsuit. The watchdog group American Oversight, who filed the lawsuit, said that Assembly leaders acknowledged violating the law and pledged to comply going forward. The mother of a missing 3-year-old boy appeared in court Friday in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin. Katrina Bauer and Jesse Vang were in court for the first time today. Bauer is the mother of 3-year-old Elijah View, who has been missing since Tuesday morning. Today in court, a cash bond was set for Bauer and Vang. Vang was the person who was caring for the boy at the time when he went missing. Both Bauer and Vang are facing referred charges of child neglect. Cash bond for Bauer has been set at $15,000. The Department of Natural Resources is investigating the poisoning death of 2 dogs at a Racine dog park. On Thursday, Jax, a German Shepherd mix, and Lincoln, an American Bulldog, escaped from their backyard and ended up at a dog park in Racine. They later died after being found at that dog park. A lost dog search and recovery called Billy's Posse believes the dogs got into a possible meat trap for coyotes. Animal Control picked up the 2 dogs and saw they had no visible trauma, so Billy's Posse started looking for what could have hurt the dogs.
We started kind of walking along the edge here and seeing these produce bags that were open, and it's like, well, let's just check it. And we were like, is this dog poop or what? It looked weird.
Billy's Posse believes the bags they found were coyote bait. The DNR will be testing those samples and investigating the dogs' deaths. The city of Racine has no active permits for nuisance coyote removal. A Chicago crime ring is responsible for a brazen robbery of 9 luxury vehicles in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Police released surveillance video of the thieves breaking into a Land Rover dealership and stealing those 9 luxury vehicles. Megan Lee shows us the high-speed chase involving one of the suspects who was taken into police custody.
Just after 6 Sunday morning, these 9 masked individuals entered the showroom of a Land Rover dealership in Waukesha. The suspected teenagers arrived at the business on Moreland Road in a stolen silver Chrysler minivan. After gaining entry through a service garage door, the criminal complaint says one of the offenders was able to pry open a lockbox to access multiple sets of keys. This video shows how the individuals were able to smash into the garage door, causing extensive damage. Investigators say 2 vehicles got out of the dealership through the shattered door. Then security cameras captured this convoy of 9 stolen vehicles leaving the dealership lot. Police say the suspects led them on a 30-minute, 115-mile-per-hour chase on I-94 toward the Illinois border. This dash cam video shows the chase coming to an end in Pleasant Prairie.
Crash, 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 crash.
17-year-old Calvin Valentine of Chicago was taken into custody by West Dallas police. He faces multiple charges, including burglary, receiving stolen property over $10,000, and criminal damage to property. According to the complaint, he told investigators he was just doing kid stuff. Police are confident they will find the 8 other individuals who were with Valentine. At last check, 6 of the 9 vehicles were recovered.
The Northwoods is seeing a surge in fake trading cards. Coming up, we'll have a look at how to spot a fake after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Waller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why Wisconsin gets Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving daily, but so is Mr. Frost. So see a Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Stretch your tax refund by shopping at Home Furniture and Design. We pay your tax. Shop our entire showroom and we'll take care of the tax on your purchase. If you don't have your tax refund yet, ask about special financing. Why wait? Shop for any room in your home. Stretch your tax refund at Home Furniture and Design and we'll pay your tax. Come see us today.
I'm Karen from the Hearing House. Ignoring hearing loss can have many negative effects on your body and your life. Even if you don't realize it, it can affect your mind, your relationships, the way you feel, the way you act, your activities. Hearing loss is so much more than not hearing what people are saying. That's why at the Hearing House, we're so passionate about what we do, because we see the changes in people's lives.
So call us if you're ready to find out if we can help you.
Make your house a hearing house.
You can stretch your family food budget. Call the Family Food Helpline.
It's Friday. Hopefully you had a wonderful start to your weekend, right? Saturday's around the corner. We had a little bit of snow, so finally felt like winter outside earlier today. That's not going to last here for long. We're looking at 40s making a return by Sunday, near record highs Monday into Tuesday. The little bit of snow we did have for like 2 hours, that is into southern Wisconsin at the moment, into northern Illinois. I was talking to my father earlier today, around 2-3 hours ago, and he said they have around an inch of snow on the ground. Most of it is on grassy surfaces just because they had upper 40s as high temperatures earlier today, so everything was melting as it really did fall from the sky. Just a little bit of snow on the asphalt and of course on the sidewalks as well. Other than that, just on grassy surfaces. That's going to be long gone. Then we're going to be in the clear tomorrow into Sunday, into Monday, near record highs on Monday, and then Tuesday, once again, mid 50s in the area, even some 60s in Wisconsin. Couple of sprinkles will be possible on Tuesday. Cold front comes by Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then on the back end, that's where we're looking at some snow. And of course, with some snow in the area, colder temperatures, we might have some accumulations that will be in the region Tuesday night into Wednesday. It's still several days away. But for now, though, models are hinting at something moving in as form of snow. Of course, we are lacking so much of this season. Only 27.8 inches of snow so far this season. Last year, at the end of the season, we had 122.9. And we've been having so many warm temperatures. Look at all these days with red colors, 30s, 40s, couple of days where it was cooler, and then right back into the 40s, near record highs the last couple of days, 53 degrees during the day on Wednesday and Thursday. But now, cold front came by and a whole different story. We have really cooled down back into the single digits here in town, down into central Wisconsin. We're talking mid-teens and then even some 20s all the way down south. Waupaca's not showing it, but they're at 21 degrees at the moment. Wisconsin Rapid is at 20, so temperatures will be continuing to cool off as the night comes upon us, and feels like temperatures even colder than that, folks. So bundle up outside. If you do have any plans to do anything early tomorrow morning, you want to make sure you have your layers on because it's just going to feel very cold. Winds are pretty light, but as you guys can see, it's mostly blowing from the north, right? Bringing in all that cold air from Canada. Not going to be here for long. Like I said, by tomorrow, we're going to be back in the 30s and then 40s right back on Sunday. Near record highs Monday and Tuesday, and then sharp cold front. We're cold on Wednesday and right back up into above average temperatures. What a winter, right? This is kind of reminding me of a winter that we used to have in New York City when I used to live out there over 10 years ago. Wow, and we live in northern Wisconsin, close to Canada, and we're having this type of winter. Tropical jet stream is going to be down south. That's going to continue to bring wave after wave of low pressure systems into California and then into the center part of the country, mainly into the southern states. So we got, we have Texas, we have Oklahoma, Louisiana, possibly even Kansas getting in on some thunderstorms by next week. So we'll keep an eye on things. For us in Wisconsin, no thunderstorms, just some warmer temperatures. Tonight, though, temperatures below zero, a light breeze. It's going to feel a lot colder than that. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show near record highs Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be cold, it's going to be warm, and then a cold front comes by and it's really going to cool off Tuesday night into Wednesday, possibly a little bit more snow in the area by Wednesday. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. The Rhinelander Food Pantry is kicking off their spring challenge to inspire others to give back to the community when donations may be down, but demand still high. They started the spring challenge back in 2016 to help with the need for food after the holidays.
Then directly after the holidays, we tended to see kind of a reduction in donations, not only monetary, but also food donations.
Challenge donations will be accepted through the end of April. Pokemon is one of the highest grossing media franchises in history, bringing in over $90 billion in sales worldwide. Its popularity continues with tabletop shops in the Northwoods. But one store is warning its customers to watch out for fake Pokemon products. Newswatch 12's Carrie Bladorn has more.
Talon Song Gaming Store in Minocqua sells tabletop games and collectible trading cards, buying and selling official licensed merchandise. Recently, co-owner Megan Flieger has seen a rise in fake Pokemon cards coming into the store.
We had a ton towards the end of summer, and then we had a couple of families come in about 2 weeks ago that were talking about it.
Local Pokemon players and traders have identified Northwood's flea markets and garage sales as sources of the fake cards. Although it could be unintentional, still, Talon Song Gaming Store wants buyers to be aware that unofficial products are circulating in the Northwoods.
So they'll come in and they'll be really excited about knowing how much is this card worth. We just bought this from, this person or that person, or my son traded off a holographic Charizard and this is what he got. Was this a good trade? And then we have to look at it and say, well, no, it's fake. It's just one of those things where people are getting swindled, and that's a big deal. And it's actually the most rampant with Pokemon.
Much like paper money, Pokemon cards are designed with features that make fakes stand out. There's a few things that buyers can look out for, especially parents of children that are collecting the cards.
Like the edges here, you'll be able to tell that it looks like two pieces of cardboard smushed together.
Other signs may be that the card just doesn't quite look right, or it lacks the correct texture of a real Pokemon card. The takeaway is, if you're going to invest in collectible cards, it's best to purchase them from a reputable store.
I don't even know if I would mess with something at a flea market or a garage sale unless you had someone with you that knows those items. And I would say that for other things that aren't even cards.
With any collectible item, there's bound to be fakes on the market. There are plenty of knowledgeable game stores in the Northwoods where you can learn to spot the real deal, so you or your children don't get taken advantage of if you're out trying to catch them all. Reporting from Minocqua, I'm Carrie Bladorn with Newswatch 12.
Great tips. Thank you, Carrie. It's playoff time in high school girls basketball. Drew Chelley has highlights and scores from all around the area after the break.
Dear winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up. Toyota.
Get 4.99% APR for 60 months plus $1,500 cash back on Tundra Hybrid. Toyota. Let's go places.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Fuller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
Ready, set, go! Boat show, boat show, boat show!
Can't wait to get on the water? Then get to the biggest and best boat show this week, only at American Marine and Motorsports in Shawano. We're matching deposits up to $1,000, or we will beat any competing price by $500. Don't be left out in the cold all year. Get your new boat at the American Marine Boat Show this week, Thursday through Sunday, Shawano.
Boat show, boat show, boat show, boat show!
Serving in Afghanistan, I was hit by sniper fire, and I was given a 5% chance to live. It's a good thing math wasn't my best subject. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org. Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Yours, Toyota.
Get 3.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Camry. Toyota. Let's go places.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today.
We'll be joined by Kate Heidman for another edition of Race Watch 12.
And finally, cooler temperatures are back, right? But a warm-up is on the way. How warm is it going to get? I'll have the answers coming up.
The second round of the girls' high school basketball playoffs took place all over the state tonight. Many area teams were in action as they look to keep their seasons alive. We start the night in Rhinelander, where the Hodags play host to Green Bay Southwest in Division II action. Southwest really shot the ball well in this one here. It's Chloe Bynum for three, and she is going to knock it down. Back come the Hodags, Kelsey Winter from the corner. She's going to connect on a three-pointer of her own. Now it's Auburn Clark, the Hodag freshman and GNC first-team selection. She gets to the rim with the left hand. She's going to finish 4-2. Ultimately, Southwest just had a bit too much for the Hodags. Delaney King gets to the rim. She finishes plus the foul. Southwest puts an end to Rhinelander's season. They win this one 61-35 in advance. Over to Minocqua. Merrill on the road looking to upset second-seeded Lakeland Union. We start in the first half. Sailor Timmerman with a big block. And now she is running the floor, and her sister Allie Timmerman with the nice pass inside. Sailor finishes with the layup. Nice pick and roll here. Christina Wimette going to find an open Kale Quaid, and Quaid going to finish with the layup. T-Birds rolling early. Merrill trying to fight back off of a rebound. Grace Ryman, the freshman from downtown, she knocks down a three-pointer. Lakeland was just too much. Here's Allie Timmerman with the steal. She's going to take it herself for the layup. T-Birds advance. They win it 74-26. Plenty of other action on the girls' hardwood around the state tonight. Spash defeated Wausau West by a final score of 46-23. Stratford victorious at home. They grabbed a 56-34 win over Abbotsford to advance. Rice Lake took down Medford tonight 57-34. That sets up a big-time matchup with Lakeland Union tomorrow night in Minocqua. Mosinee advanced with a 53-32 win over Hayward. The Indians will take on top-seeded Menominee tomorrow night. Some more scores. Starting in Division IV, Crandon gets a win at home over Coleman by a final of 51-35. Top-seeded Wittenberg-Burnham kept it rolling. They took down Wapaka tonight. Dominant performance, 59-26 win there. Tomahawk saw their season come to an end at the hands of Freedom. That one was a 61-23 final score. Over in Phillips, the Loggers with the win. They grabbed a victory tonight, 82-49. Rounding out the action-packed girls slate, Edgar saw their season come to an end as Pittsville won that one 66-33. Leona Wabito trying to get back to state. They kept those hopes alive with a 54-27 win over Gillett. Prentice on the road taking on Owen Withy. They fell by a final score of 43-27. Florence, they kept their season going. They got a close victory at home, defeating Green Bay Lutheran by a final of 40-32. The Wisconsin Wendigo kept their winning ways going tonight. They grabbed a 4-0 win on the road against the Springfield Junior Blues. Quinn Disher powered the Wendigo offense. He scored 2 goals. Logan Nicholas and Tyler Graham also tallied goals. Leonard Lipskis was stellar between the pipes as the Wendigo goalie stopped all 25 shots he faced on the night. Wendigo back in action tomorrow when they once again take on the Junior Blues. In other hockey action, Tomahawk and Mosinee will be squaring off in tomorrow's Division II sectional final down at the Mosinee Rec Center. The winner of this one will be on their way to the state semifinals, which will take place next Thursday at the Bob Suter Ice Arena. The two teams met twice so far this season. Tomahawk has won both matchups. The first was a 9-4 win back in December. The two teams met a second time a few weeks ago in the semifinals of the GNC tournament. Hatchets won that one as well. That was a 6-2 final. 1 p.m. start tomorrow, or 2 p.m. start tomorrow down in Mosinee with a spot at state on the line. We'll be right back after the break.
Wisconsin's biggest President's Day appliance sale ends Tuesday at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Shop holiday deals and special buys from top brands, plus 60-month special financing without a single Washington down at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
For the most up-to-the-minute information on school closings, visit WJFW.com on your computer, tablet, or your phone. WJFW School Closings is sponsored by People's State Bank, Builder Service Incorporated, and Merrill Steel.
Sinking driveway? Settling patio? Collapsing stoop? Uneven pool deck? It's a fact. Concrete problems don't get better with time. They get better with SureDry. Call SureDry today.
ELM Repair in Edgar is a family-owned and operated full-service diesel repair shop. From pickups to semi-trucks to heavy equipment and RV service. If it runs on diesel, we can repair it. Want more power and better mileage? Our experienced professionals will get your truck running and at peak performance. With a state-of-the-art dyno and fully stocked parts department, we can even come out to you with our 24-hour mobile repair service. ELM is always looking for passionate and talented people to join our team. The Diesel Doctor have it done right the first time at ELM Repair.
Wisconsin's biggest President's Day appliance sale ends Tuesday at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Shop holiday deals and special buys from top brands, plus 60-month special financing without a single Washington down at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
A wildlife center will be hosting an event this weekend to benefit wildlife rescue and rehabilitation. The Northwoods Wildlife Center in Minocqua will be hosting their annual Wildlife Photo Gala tomorrow. There are 6 different photo categories, including North American wildlife, naturescapes, bugs and blooms, a pet category, people and nature, and newest to the gala, a professional category.
It's catered, so there's going to be great food. There's live music, obviously an amazing assortment of photos. Raffle baskets. It's a really good time. It starts at 5 p.m., goes till 8 p.m.
The event's open to the public and donations are appreciated. All proceeds benefit wildlife rescue and rehabilitation for northern Wisconsin. The gala is being held tomorrow at 5 p.m. at the Campanile Center for the Arts in downtown Minocqua.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right, I got a question for you guys. What is the name of the most famous secret agent fish? Why, it's Pond. James Pond, of course. All right, well, let's start this week's Big Old Fish with Eli Markworth. Now, Eli caught this amazing 23.5-inch walleye. Now, get this, he found a big, dead sucker baking on the shore and used that for bait. Went on to say, unfortunately, it just was in the slot and had to be released. Well, 23.5 inches, walleye. Yeah, that's still a big old fish. Way to go, Eli. Keep on reeling them in. All right, next up on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Denise von Stroidonk. Now, she caught and released this gorgeous 30-inch northern pike because, and I quote, she only keeps the pickles. Well, I don't know what to say about that, Denise, but that is, in fact, one big old fish. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. Finally, on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Jimmy Merritt, who caught this tank of a walleye that measured in at 26 inches on a Rhinelander area lake. Incidentally, he was using a tip-up when he caught this fish. Well, 26 inches, walleye, yeah, that's a big old fish. Way to go, Jimmy. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Norling taxidermy fish mount is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
It's a grind.
Right, folks, you heard correct. Menards 11% off everything is happening now.
11% off everything is here. So start that makeover you've been talking about and transform the look of your bathroom or upgrade your garage with heavy-duty storage that you need for your ideal workspace. Now's the time to make your kitchen stand out and save big on the entire project. Hurry into Menards now for 11% off everything.
Save big money at Menards.
See your local Northern Wisconsin and UP Ski-Doo dealers.
Hey guys, check out all this delicious, locally roasted coffee.
That's why the best way to start your day is with a cup of coffee from Eagle River Roasters.
Newswatch 12 today wants to get that coffee to you through the Mugshot Monday contest.
Hi, we're Tim and Judy from Tomahawk Monument Company.
When we want the forecast for Tomahawk, we go to WJFW.com and check our hometown weather.
Your hometown weather, available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
This is Ford Truck Month with amazing offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks. Make way for the event that only comes around once a year, featuring the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. Get ready and get to Ford Truck Month. Now get an F-150 with 1.9% APR for 72 months, plus 1,000 trade assist cash. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
You're watching NBC 12, your home for dramas, game shows, comedies, and sports. NBC 12, from where you live.
And it finally feels like winter, folks, right? 20s and even some teens in the area. Now, single digits in the area. Feels like temperatures even colder than that. Couple of spots well below zero, so bundle up by that morning commute. Tomorrow, 40s by Sunday. Monday into Tuesday, back into those 50s. So it's going to feel like spring and then winter once again by Wednesday.
So if you are a fan of spring and winter, this forecast is for you.
This is perfect.
This is the week for you.
Spring and winter right there.
Conrad. We'll see you back here on Monday.
At Len's Truck, we're all trucks all the time. Nobody has a better selection of used trucks. At Len's Truck, we buy more, we sell more, and you save more. Buy now and get the highest trade-in value ever at Len's. Go to lenstruck.com. You'll find over 800 of the best used trucks money can buy. Len's Truck. Len's Truck. We got the trucks at Len's Truck.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
What? I'm in love with whoever made this country fried steak. Can I borrow a pen?
Love letter?
5 meals for under $10. Only at Perkins.
Do you know a local teen who demonstrates exemplary character and is a role model in our community? I'm Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Waller. We'll be hosting this year's YMCA Teen Character Awards on April 14th. Please tell us why a teen demonstrates the Y's core values.
Teachers, counselors, coaches, neighbors, family, and friends are encouraged to nominate a teen by filling out a nomination form.
Our local teens do so much. Sometimes that work gets overlooked.
That's right, Jeff. This is an excellent opportunity to acknowledge that work.
Nominate a teen today.
What are you guys doing? We're excited for the American Marine Boat Show.
Join the excitement for the absolute best boat and pontoon